Have you ever felt it? That hollow ache that settles deep in your chest when someone's words hit you like a physical blow? That chilling sensation of being invisible, overlooked, disregarded, like your feelings, your thoughts, your very presence is nothing more than an inconvenience to them. You pour your heart and soul into something, a project, a relationship, a secret dream you've nurtured in the quiet corners of your mind, and they just dismiss it with a casual wave of their hand, a condescending smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes, a careless, offhand remark that cuts you deeper than any blade ever could. And you're just supposed to, what? Take it? Swallow the bitter pill of their disrespect and pretend it doesn't sting? Smile and nod while your spirit is screaming? We've all been there, standing silently in the rubble of our own self-worth, wondering how, just how, we let someone else hold the detonator. We replay their words in our minds, a torturous loop that plays over and over and over again. And with each repetition, we feel a little smaller, a little weaker, a little more broken. We start to question everything. Maybe they're right. A treacherous little voice whispers in the darkness of our doubt. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I deserve that. But I'm here to tell you, with every fiber of my being, that voice is a liar. And today, right now, in this very moment, we are going to find the courage to silence it forever. If you are tired of being a doormat for other people's insecurities, if you are done letting their disrespect define your worth, if you are ready to finally stand up and reclaim the power that has always been yours, then this message is for you. Forget everything you've been taught about turning the other cheek and being the bigger person. Today, we're not just turning the other cheek, we're turning the tables. So take a deep cleansing breath, feel the air fill your lungs, and let's begin this journey back to you. The world can be a loud, chaotic, and often unforgiving place. It's a relentless symphony of opinions, judgments, and expectations. And if you're not careful, you can lose your own beautiful melody in the deafening noise. People will try to write your story for you. They will try to paint you with their own limited palette of colors to force you into a box that makes them feel comfortable and secure. They will project their own fears, their own failures, their own deep cavernous emptiness onto you. And with a straight face, they will call it truth. But it's not your truth, is it? Deep down in that quiet, sacred space within your soul, you know who you are. You know the untamed fire that burns within you. You know the audacious dreams that whisper to you in the dead of night when the world is asleep. You know the incredible, resilient strength that has carried you through every single storm you've ever faced. And yet, we allow the careless, thoughtless words of others to extinguish that brilliant flame. We allow their doubts to become our reality. Why? Why do we so willingly hand them that much power over our own hearts? I remember a time in my life when I was so desperate for approval, I felt like I was dying of thirst in a desert. I was a chameleon, constantly, exhaustingly changing my colors to match whatever environment I was in. I would laugh at jokes that weren't funny, jokes that sometimes made me feel small. I would agree with opinions I didn't share, nodding my head while my soul was shaking it. I would shrink myself, make myself smaller and smaller and smaller to make others feel bigger. I genuinely thought that if I could just be what they wanted me to be, then maybe, just maybe, they would finally respect me. But you know what I discovered? It never worked. The more I tried to please them, the less I pleased myself. The more I desperately sought their validation, the less I valued my own. I became a ghost in my own life, haunting the hallways of other people's expectations, and I was miserable, absolutely, profoundly, soul-crushingly miserable. And then one day, something inside me snapped. It wasn't a loud explosion, but a quiet, seismic shift. I was in a meeting and I had just presented an idea that I had poured my heart and soul into for weeks, an idea I believed in. And my boss, he just laughed. It wasn't a kind laugh. It was a dismissive, condescending laugh that echoed in the silent room. And in that moment, something shifted within me. The years of swallowing my pride, of biting my tongue, of making myself small enough to fit into their world, it all just came to a head. I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't cause a scene, I just looked at him. I held his gaze, and for the first time in my life, I didn't look away. In that heavy, charged silence, I found my voice. Not the one that speaks with words, but the one that speaks with presence. The one that says, without uttering a sound, I see you, but I am not defined by your perception of me. The one that communicates with unshakable clarity, my worth is not up for negotiation. That day, I learned a crucial life-altering lesson. True, authentic respect doesn't come from the outside. It's not a trophy that can be given to you or a privilege that can be taken away. It is something you must cultivate. It's something you build brick by painful, beautiful brick within the unbreachable fortress of your own soul. And it all starts with a single, powerful decision. The decision to stop seeking it from others and to start giving it unconditionally to yourself. So how do we do that? How do we build this internal fortress of self-respect? It's not about becoming arrogant or narcissistic. It's not about building walls so high that no one can get in. It's about boundaries. It's about drawing a sacred line in the sand of your life and saying with a calm, firm voice, this is where your disrespect ends and my self-love begins. It starts with the small things, the seemingly insignificant choices we make every day. It's learning to say no without feeling the crushing weight of guilt. It's choosing consciously to spend your precious time with people who lift you up, not those who tear you down. It's having the courage to walk away from conversations that drain your energy and poison your spirit. It's about curating your life. Just like you would curate a beautiful, thriving garden, you must be willing to pull the weeds. And some people, some relationships are weeds. They choke the life out of everything beautiful around them. And you have to be brave enough. You have to love yourself enough to let them go. And I know, it's hard. It can be terrifying. We are so conditioned to fear being alone. We are so afraid of what people will think or say. What if they get angry? What if they talk about me behind my back? Let them talk. Their words are a reflection of them, not you. A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. And you are a lion. You are a lioness. You have a fire in your heart and a storm in your soul. Do not let the bleating of the flock convince you that you are anything less than magnificent. And what about those moments when you can't simply walk away? What about the family member, the coworker, the person you have to interact with? This is where your power truly begins to shine. This is where you learn the art of emotional detachment. You learn to see their words for what they truly are. A desperate, clumsy attempt to feel powerful by making you feel powerless. You see their negativity as a poison that they are trying to pour into your cup, and you simply refuse to drink it. You can smile, you can nod, you can be polite on the surface, but inside, you are a mountain, unmovable, unshakable. Their words are like the wind, howling and raging around you, but they cannot touch your core. You are grounded in your own worth. You are anchored in your own truth. You become the calm in the center of their self-created storm. And let me tell you, there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, more intimidating to a disrespectful person than someone they cannot affect. It drives them crazy. They are looking for a reaction. They are desperately searching for a fight. They are longing to see you crumble. And when you give them nothing, when you gift them with a calm, confident, unbothered presence, you take away all their power. You win the war without ever having to fire a single shot. But this isn't just about winning battles with others. This is about winning the war with yourself, the war against that insidious little voice that tells you you're not enough. The war against the years of conditioning that have taught you to put everyone else's needs and feelings before your own. The war against the deep-seated fear of being seen, truly seen, in all your magnificent, imperfect, glorious humanity. Every single time you choose yourself, every time you honor your feelings, every time you walk away from disrespect, you are casting a vote for your own worthiness. You are rewriting the script of your life. You are telling the universe, and more importantly, you are telling yourself that you matter, that your feelings are valid, that your dreams are important, that you are important. This journey is not for the faint of heart. I will not lie to you. It will be uncomfortable at times. You will lose people you thought would be in your life forever. You will be misunderstood by those who are not ready to do their own inner work. You will have moments of doubt where the old voices creep back in. But I promise you, on the other side of that discomfort is a freedom you have never known, a peace that passes all understanding, a love for yourself so fierce and so deep that no amount of disrespect from the outside world can ever touch it. So I ask you again, are you ready? Are you ready to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the undisputed hero of your own story? Are you ready to let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you truly are? Are you ready to hold your head high, to speak your truth, to live your life boldly and unapologetically? Because the world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for your light, your passion, your unique and utterly irreplaceable magic. Don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, dim that light, not for a single second. So from this day forward, make a pact with yourself, a sacred, unbreakable vow. You will no longer tolerate disrespect, not from others and not from yourself. You will no longer shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You will no longer apologize for being who you are. You will honor your boundaries as if they are sacred temples. You will protect your energy as if it is your most precious resource. You will nurture your soul as if it is the most beautiful garden in the world. You will look in the mirror every single day, look yourself directly in the eyes, and you will say, I am worthy, I am powerful, I am enough. And you will say it until you believe it in every cell, in every fiber of your being. You will become your own biggest cheerleader, your own staunchest defender, your own greatest, most unconditional love. This is your life, your one precious, wild, and beautiful life. Don't waste another moment of it living in the shadows of someone else's disrespect. Step into the light, stand in your power, and let your magnificent soul shine. Because you, my friend, you are a force to be reckoned with. And don't you ever, for 1 second, forget it. Now go and be brilliant. But wait, before you go out and face the world with this newfound fire, let's talk for another minute. Let's talk about the hard part, because I would be lying if I told you this transformation is easy. I would be selling you a fantasy if I said that once you make this decision, all your problems will magically disappear. The truth is, the moment you start to value yourself, the moment you start drawing those lines in the sand, you will face the greatest resistance you've ever known. And it won't always come from the outside. No, the hardest battle will be fought right here, inside of you. Let's talk about guilt. Count two. That heavy, suffocating blanket that drapes over you the moment you say no to someone you're used to saying yes to. That insidious whisper that tells you you're being selfish, that you're being mean, that you're hurting someone's feelings. This guilt, it can be crippling. It can make you doubt your decision. It can make you want to run right back to the familiar comfort of your cage. But you have to understand what that guilt really is. It is not a signal that you are doing something wrong. no. That guilt is the echo of their expectations. It is the ghost of their control. It is the sound of your old programming fighting desperately to pull you back into line. When you feel that guilt, I want you to recognize it for what it is, a signpost, a confirmation that you are finally moving in the right direction. You are leaving the territory they mapped out for you, and you are venturing into the wilderness of your own freedom. The guilt is simply the sound of the old chains rattling as they begin to break. So when you feel it, take a deep breath and see it as a victory. And then there's the fear of being misunderstood. Oh, this one is a monster. People will not understand the new you. The you who no longer laughs at their casual insults. The you who no longer rearranges your entire life for their convenience. The you who no longer offers up your soul for their consumption. They will call you difficult. They will call you selfish. They might even call you arrogant. They will try to paint your self-respect as a character flaw. And my God, that will hurt, but you must find the courage to be misunderstood. You must be willing to be the villain in a story that you are no longer willing to star in. Let them call you selfish. What does selfish even mean in this context? It means you are finally tending to the garden of your own soul. It means you are finally giving yourself the water, the sunlight, the care that you so freely gave to everyone else. If that is selfish, then be selfish. Be gloriously, wonderfully, unapologetically selfish, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And for too long, your cup has been bone dry. And this leads to the biggest fear of all, the fear of loneliness. As you start to distance yourself from those who disrespect you, your circle might get smaller. There might be an emptiness where the noise used to be. And in that quiet, you might feel alone, terrifyingly alone. But I want to offer you a new word, a new perspective. What if it isn't loneliness? What if it's solitude? Loneliness is a lack. It is a painful awareness of what is missing. But solitude is a presence. It is the profound, beautiful, and sacred experience of being fully present with yourself. For the first time, you are not being defined by your relationships with others. You are not a reflection in their eyes. You are simply you. In that quiet solitude, you will finally begin to hear it, the rhythm of your own heart, the forgotten melody of your own soul, the whispers of your deepest desires that were drowned out by the chaos of other people's needs. This solitude is not a punishment, it is a reward. It is the sacred space where you get to fall in love with yourself, maybe for the very first time. You get to learn who you are without their influence, without their judgment, without their disrespect. And the person you will find in that quiet is more incredible than you can possibly imagine. This journey of reclaiming your respect is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a daily, moment-by-moment practice. There will be days you stumble. There will be days the old habits creep back in. There will be moments you let a comment slide because you're just too tired to fight. And in those moments, you must give yourself grace. You must treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend who is learning to walk again. You are unlearning a lifetime of conditioning. You are healing wounds you didn't even know you had. This is not a race. It is a delicate, messy, beautiful dance. So when you fall, don't stay down, berating yourself for your weakness. Number, you take a breath, you forgive yourself, and you rise again and again and again. Because your worth isn't determined by your perfection. It is defined by your resilience, by your courageous willingness to keep rising. So yes, go and be brilliant, but also go and be gentle with yourself. Go and be patient. Go and embrace the messy, uncomfortable, glorious process of becoming. Your journey back to self-respect is the single most important journey you will ever take. It is the foundation upon which every other aspect of your life will be built. Your relationships, your career, your joy, your peace, it all starts here. It all starts with the quiet, radical, world-changing decision to finally believe that you are worthy of your own love. You are. You always have been, and you always will be. Now go and live it. So you've sat with the guilt, you've braved the solitude, you've made a vow to yourself in the quiet of your own heart, you've decided to live it. But let's get real for a moment. What does that actually look like? What does it feel like in your body, in your voice, in the 1,000 tiny choices you make from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep? Because this journey of self-respect isn't an abstract idea you keep locked away in your mind. No, it is something you embody. It is a truth that you wear, that you breathe, that you become. Let's start with the space you occupy. For years, maybe you've been trying to make yourself smaller, hunching your shoulders to seem less imposing, tucking your arms in tightly at your sides, almost apologizing for the physical space your body takes up. You've been living like a guest in your own life, afraid of taking up too much room. But from this moment forward, I want you to practice the art of taking up space, because you are not a guest here, you belong. When you walk into a room, feel your feet planted firmly on the ground. Feel the connection to the earth beneath you, a silent reminder that you are grounded, that you are stable. Draw your energy up through your spine and let your shoulders fall back and down, not in a gesture of aggression, but as a simple, graceful opening of your heart to the world. Hold your head high, not with arrogance, but with a quiet dignity. You are not looking down on anyone else. You are simply no longer looking down on yourself. This posture is not a performance. It is a physical declaration that says, I am here, I am present, and I have a right to be. Watch what happens. The world responds differently to a person who is comfortable in their own skin. The space around you will literally change to accommodate the energy you are projecting. And now, let's talk about your voice. For so long, perhaps your voice has been a reflection of your insecurity. Maybe you speak too quickly, rushing to get your words out before you're interrupted. Maybe you speak too softly, a subconscious signal that you don't really believe your own words are worth hearing. Or maybe you end your statements with an upward inflection, turning your truth into a question, silently begging for approval. I think we should do this instead of, this is what I believe we should do. Your voice is the music of your soul. Do not let them force you to whisper your truth. I want you to rediscover the natural timbre and power of your own voice. This doesn't mean you have to be the loudest person in the room. True power is rarely loud. It is about speaking with intention. Before you respond in a conversation, try taking a small, almost imperceptible pause. Just a single beat of silence. That pause is everything. It communicates that you are not reacting out of nervousness or habit. You are choosing, you are considering, you are valuing your own words enough to select them with care. And when you do speak, let the words come from your chest, not just your throat. Let your voice carry the weight of your conviction. Speak at a calm, steady pace. You are not in a rush. Your thoughts deserve the time it takes to articulate them. Let your voice be a clear, calm river, not a frantic, nervous trickle. When you begin to speak as if you believe yourself, a funny thing happens. Other people start to believe you too. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about the currency of your no. We've talked about saying it, but I want you to truly understand its immense value. For most of your life, your yes has been cheap. You gave it away to anyone who asked, regardless of the cost to your own energy, your own time, your own peace. But a yes has no meaning if no is not an option. Your no is what gives your yes its power. It is the guardian at the gate of your life. I want you to see every no you speak not as an act of rejection, but as an act of profound self-acceptance. Every time you say, no, I'm not available, you are saying yes to your own need for rest and replenishment. Every time you say, no, I don't agree with that, you are saying yes to your own integrity and truth. Every time you say, no, you may not speak to me that way, you are screaming a resounding yes to your own self-worth. Your no is not a wall you build to keep the world out. It is the tool you use to build a beautiful, sacred life that you genuinely want to live in. It is the most powerful creative word you possess. Do not be afraid to use it. Wield it with grace, wield it with kindness, but wield it with unshakable firmness. It is the key to designing a life that feels like your own. And here is the most subtle yet most powerful part of this embodiment. True self-respect doesn't need to be announced. It needs to be radiated. You don't have to walk into a room and give a speech about your new boundaries. You don't have to wear a t-shirt that says, "I value myself now." Arrogance is loud. Defensiveness is loud. They are born from a deep insecurity, from a desperate need to prove one's worth to the outside world. That is not what we are doing here. What you are cultivating is a quiet, calm, unshakable self-possession. It's an energy, it's a presence. It's the calm in your eyes when someone is trying to rattle you. It's the relaxed posture of your body when you're under pressure. It's the lack of urgency to defend or explain yourself. When you truly know your worth, you have nothing to prove. Your worth is not a debate, it is a fact. And your only job is to live in alignment with that fact. This is the quiet magnetism of authenticity. When you stop trying to be everything to everyone, when you stop performing and start simply being, you become magnetic. You will start to notice that the right people who are also centered, respectful, and authentic, will be drawn to you. They will recognize a kindred spirit, and the wrong people, the manipulators, the critics, the energy vampires, they will slowly start to fall away. Your calm, self-respecting energy will be like sunlight to a vampire. They won't know why, but they will suddenly feel uncomfortable in your presence. They won't get the reaction they crave. They won't find any cracks in your foundation to exploit. And so without a fight, without a word, they will move on to an easier target. This is the effortless boundary, the one your very being upholds. So your practice now moves from your mind into your bones. Tomorrow morning, when you stand up a little taller. When you look at yourself in the mirror, hold your own gaze for a second longer. When you speak to someone, let your voice carry the quiet certainty of your own heart. When you are asked for something that violates your peace, practice delivering a calm, simple no. Don't just think about what it would feel like to be respected. Start acting like a person who respects themselves and watch as the world rearranges itself around you. This is the great secret. You don't wait for respect to be given to you. You embody the respect you already have for yourself, and in doing so, you teach the world exactly how you are to be treated. Your life is your lesson plan. Your actions are your instructions. Go and be the lesson. And so you begin to walk this path. You are walking taller. Your voice has found its home in the center of your chest. Your no is becoming a fortress of self-love, and your yes is now a precious, meaningful gift. You're embodying this new truth. But let me ask you a question. Well, what is it all for? What is the point of this newfound strength, this quiet dignity? It is for more than just deflecting disrespect. So much more. What we are talking about now is the great, beautiful, magnificent ripple effect of your own liberation. You see, when you change your own internal world, you don't just change your own experience. You fundamentally change the ecosystem of your life. Let's talk about your relationships. You may have started this journey terrified of losing people. And yes, some may have fallen away. The weeds had to be pulled. But now, look closer. Look at the relationships that remain. They are changing, aren't they? The people who have chosen to stay, they are having to meet you on this new higher ground. The old dynamics of disrespect or dismissal no longer have any oxygen. To stay in your orbit, they have no choice but to level up. They begin to treat you with the respect that you now model for them. Your strength invites their strength. Your authenticity calls to their authenticity. The relationship deepens, moving from a place of unequal exchange to one of mutual, genuine admiration. And then there are the new people. You will start attracting individuals who have always operated on this frequency of respect. Before, you may have been invisible to them, your energy of self-doubt not registering on their radar. But now, your quiet confidence, your calm self-possession, it acts as a beacon. You will find yourself in conversations that are nourishing with people who listen as much as they speak, who celebrate your wins without jealousy, who see your value without you ever having to prove it. These connections will feel easy. They will feel like coming home because you are finally meeting people not at the level of your wounds, but at the level of your worth. And this ripple effect, it does something profound to your definition of a successful life. Before, maybe success was a frantic climb up a ladder someone else built. It was about chasing promotions, accolades, the approval of the crowd. It was an external game and a deeply exhausting one. But now, your definition of success begins to shift. Success is no longer measured by applause, but by peace. A successful day is a day where you did not betray yourself. A successful week is one where you honored your boundaries and protected your energy. Success becomes the quiet, steady hum of alignment in your soul. Happiness, too, is redefined. It is no longer a fleeting high you get from someone's compliment or a momentary distraction from your inner turmoil. Happiness becomes the gentle, abiding joy of your own company. It's the pleasure of reading a book in silence, the satisfaction of cooking a meal just for you, the profound contentment of knowing that at the end of the day, you were your own best friend. It is a wellspring that bubbles up from within, constant and nourishing, completely independent of the outside world's ever-changing weather. But the ripple effect doesn't stop with you. This is where your journey becomes an act of service to the world without you even trying.